We have sailed to Alaska 6 times, twice with Norwegian Cruise Line. While we enjoyed our cruises with the brand, an Alaska cruise on NCL isn't right for everyone. So, before we put down that deposit, we cover the pros and cons of an Alaska cruise on Norwegian Cruise Line to ensure your trip way up north is smooth sailing. Up next. Welcome aboard, cruisers. Don B here from Eat Sleep Cruise, where we help you see the world one port at a time. And before we dive into this video, if you have any questions at all about taking an Alaska cruise or Norwegian Cruise Line, please leave them in the comment section below as we answer every single question. Norwegian Cruise Line is the pioneer of flexible dining on a cruise ship. The brand's freestyle approach to cruising means there are no set dinner times. Cruisers are free to dine whenever and with whomever they want during the cruise. In Alaska, this freestyle approach offers more options than the traditional main dining on other cruise lines. Given that the port of call times can vary daily, this flexibility becomes invaluable. For instance, one morning you might be up at 6 a.m. for a shore excursion, while the next day the ship could be docking in the afternoon and staying until 9 or 10 p.m. During our voyage on Norwegian Bliss back in 2018, we had the pleasure of cruising with some friends. Throughout the week, we shared some dining experiences as a group of 6, others as a table of 4, and some nights it was just the 2 of us. Freestyle dining makes switching up the table arrangements in situations like this very simple. Yet, for those who like to plan ahead, there's no need to fret either. You still have the option to pre-reserve dining times. This means you won't miss out on that coveted dinner at Cagney Steakhouse, or you won't have to wait for a table when you return from a long day ashore in Skagway. During our Norwegian Encore trip last year, we had most of our dinners reserved before even boarding the ship. But we still had the flexibility to adjust a couple of those times when our plans changed. Another benefit of booking an Alaska cruise with Norwegian Cruise Line are the onboard viewing areas. Now, we always suggest cruisers opt for a balcony when sailing in Alaska. On all 6 of our Alaska cruises, we went with this upgrade. This was true on both of our Alaska cruises with Norwegian Cruise Line. But even if you don't want to splurge, you won't miss out on the scenic cruising and Alaskan landscapes when sailing with NCL. Several Norwegian Cruise Line ships in the region offer a variety of viewing areas scattered throughout the ship. Norwegian Bliss and Norwegian Encore offer indoor and outdoor viewing areas for all types of weather. There's the observation lounge at the front and the top of the ship, which provides excellent 270-degree views. There is plenty of comfy furniture to unwind, not to mention snacks and complimentary drinks throughout the day. There's also a bar for those premium beverages. Outside, the multi-level pool deck offers plenty of space for sightseeing, but there's also the waterfront, which we think is even better. This outdoor promenade in the middle of the ship is much closer to the water, wraps around most of the deck, and has various seating options. Not to mention, there are several bars and dining venues just a short walk away. Further, the Vibe Beach Club offers an exclusive outdoor deck if you want to upgrade your Alaskan experience. With limited capacity, you are all but guaranteed a spot in the hot tub with a glacier view and private bar. We think this upcharge deck is a hidden gem when sailing in Alaska. We had access to this spot on our Norwegian Encore cruise last year and loved it. While smaller, Norwegian Jewel also offers several viewing spots throughout the ship, including indoor and outdoor venues on different decks. This helps to disperse the crowds and offer various vantage points. However, one disadvantage of sailing to Alaska with Norwegian Cruise Line is the lack of choices. While some cruise lines offer 6 or 7 ships in the region, Norwegian Cruise Line only offers 4 ships. Most of these ships sail from Seattle, Washington on round-trip itineraries. So compared to the competition, there are fewer options for sailing to Alaska. While we are fans of mega ships and think the round-trip route is excellent for first-timers to the region, it does mean that most ships offer similar ports of call. However, NCL Bliss and Norwegian Encore offer different glacier viewing spots, which means cruisers must choose between scenic cruising of the Dawes Glacier or Glacier Bay National Park. If you're not a fan of mega ships, Norwegian Sun offers 9-night sailings. This smaller ship sails Glacier Bay and many popular ports. But given the extra days, this might be difficult and expensive for families wanting to cruise to Alaska. Or cruisers can opt for a one-way cruise on Norwegian Jewel. These southbound or northbound routes begin or end in Seward, Alaska, or Vancouver, British Columbia. While various cruise lines offer different onboard experiences in Alaska, these trips are really about the destination. For us, picking the right itinerary is more important than what is on the cruise ship. So we're happy to report that many Norwegian Cruise Line sailings offer scenic cruising to Glacier Bay National Park. For first-time cruisers in Alaska, Glacier Bay National Park is a must. Norwegian Cruise Line offers itineraries visiting Glacier Bay National Park on megaships and medium-sized ships. Regardless of the size of the ship, the programming is the same. This includes park rangers coming on board for the entire time the ship is in the park. Along with lectures in the theater, other rangers provide narration as the ship glides down to the main attraction, the Marjorie Glacier. Other informative sessions occur inside the ship with exhibits and literature about the park. Additional Q&A opportunities exist with rangers as they walk the outdoor decks in search of wildlife. This several-hour visit is something you don't want to miss. So grab your gear and head outside for these spectacular sights. Each visit is unique, given the weather conditions and tides. During our last visit on Norwegian Encore, we were able to sail down the John Hopkins Inlet to get some fantastic views of the John Hopkins Glacier, which is not always visible or allowed. While Norwegian Cruise Line does offer several cruises that go to Glacier Bay National Park, perhaps one of the biggest drawbacks of cruising to Alaska with NCL has to do with its itineraries. Most of the 7-day itineraries offer less time ashore in other ports when compared to competitor cruise lines in the region. While several cruise lines offer full-day stops at many ports of call, NCL stops are often shorter or the timing is not as ideal. Depending on the itinerary, you will most likely have an early morning stop in places like Ketchikan, Icy Strait Point, or Juneau. Some routes include the afternoon in Juneau, with the ship docked until later in the evening. Unfortunately, NCL does not have preferential berthing in many ports either. This means the ship docks further away from the city center. For instance, the Ward Cove dock in Ketchikan is a bus ride away from town. Thus, you can't get off the ship and walk to the nearby attractions like you can do on many other cruise lines. So, getting to and from the ship, if not on an excursion, can be a headache. Likewise, depending on the time of year and the number of ships in port, your NCL ship might not always dock in Juneau. So there is the potential it becomes a tender port, which we all know is not very fun. But it is true that Norwegian Cruise Line offers a better value when cruising to Alaska. The brand's popular free at sea promotion includes several add-ons that are usually an upcharge on other cruise lines. While the promotion can change, typically it includes a free drink package, Wi-Fi credit, shore excursion credits, and specialty dinner credits. Depending when you book, this promotion can also include third and fourth guests sail free, as well as reduced airfare offers. While cruisers still need to pay the service charges on some of these items, we think the free at sea promotion is an unbelievable value. It's an easy way to make your cruise more inclusive. Plus, the cruise line lets you upgrade to Free at Sea Plus, offering even more onboard perks, like unlimited Wi-Fi, a drink package that includes Starbucks beverages, and additional specialty dining. Perhaps the best part is that the Free at Sea promotion is combinable with travel advisor perks. So you can get even more savings and value when you take advantage of promotions run by your preferred travel advisor. Such perks can include additional onboard credit, free gratuities, and more. Now, even though Heidi and I have been on over 80 cruises, we still book all our cruises with a trusted travel advisor. And while we can't help you book your cruise, our partners at MEI Travel are more than happy to help. We trust MEI Travel booking our cruises, and you can use our exclusive link in the description down below to ensure you have the latest promotions and the best deals that will help you save the most money on your next cruise. Heidi and I sail as a couple, but Norwegian Cruise Line is one of the rare cruise lines that caters to solo travelers. Now, if you're new to cruising, you might not know that cruise fares are based on double occupancy for each stateroom. So for those traveling solo, this often means individuals have to pay double to cruise. Luckily, Norwegian Cruise Line is one of the few cruise lines that has devised a way around the single supplement. On many of its mega ships, it offers studio cabins designed specifically for parties of one. So those traveling by themselves have dedicated cabins that are more reasonably priced. While smaller than a typical cabin, these studios are thoughtfully designed and feature everything travelers need to feel at home on the ship. Plus, on NCL's larger vessels, these studio cabins are clustered in sections of the ship. With a separate entrance and lounge, solo travelers can meet and mingle with others traveling by themselves. There's even a dedicated cruise staff manager for solo cruisers who host events and activities. Of course, cruisers still have access to all the bars, restaurants, and other areas of the ship. But having this solo area and dedicated space makes it easier and more affordable for solo cruisers to see all that Alaska offers in style and sophistication. On the flip side, many of the mega ships in Norwegian Cruise Line's fleet are also great for families. We argue that there's definitely an advantage to having a large ship with a variety of onboard attractions, as these ships appeal to a wide range of travelers and multi-generational families. Ships like Norwegian Encore and Norwegian Bliss are ideal for large groups traveling to Alaska. The kids will enjoy the onboard attractions, like the virtual reality games in the Galaxy Pavilion, the go-kart track, and laser tag. But honestly, as big kids, we think these amenities are a lot of fun too. Also, these larger ships offer various dining options, including casual venues and sit-down restaurants, so it's easy to make everyone happy. The parents and grandparents will enjoy venues like the Observation Lounge, as well as the adult-focused entertainment and late-night comedy, while the kids can hang out with friends in Splash Academy or Entourage. Although there is a trade-off here. Many cruise lines sailing in the region promote their onboard programming. Princess Cruises has a North to Alaska series of lectures, themed events, and special dining and drink offerings. These events happen throughout the ship and your trip and offer a more immersive way to learn about and experience the region. Likewise, Holland America Line has its We Love Alaska series of talks, presentations, and region-focused enrichment. Whether it's learning about the history of Alaska or more about the Iditarod race, these talks are well-produced and informative. This cruise line offers several dining options and locally sourced food and beverages during its sailing as well. On the other hand, Norwegian Cruise Line offers very little enrichment on board. In fact, besides the typical Glacier Bay National Park ranger experience, our last Norwegian Encore trip had no Alaska-specific programming. We were surprised that there were no regional guests, nighttime talks, or Alaska-themed activities. Even the food and drink menus were pretty standard. We have sailed on the cruise line's megaships in the Caribbean, and the onboard daytime and nighttime lineup felt exactly the same when sailing in Alaska. We would have liked NCL to offer some onboard edutainment coupled with the Ashore tours and shore excursions. While other cruise lines might offer more Alaska-focused onboard activities, Norwegians know how to party. Norwegian Cruise Line ships offer lively and fun activities day and night. The ships have several well-themed bars and lounges offering live music. We are fans of the drinks at the Sugarcane Mojito Bar, especially its signature drinks like the Jalapeno Cucumber and Raspberry Guava Mojitos. The District Brewhouse has one of the best beer selections of any ship, with dozens on tap and more in bottles and cans. Not to mention, it features live piano music on most nights of the cruise. The cruise line also has several parties and nighttime events. There are silent discos in the club, comedy shows, game shows, and more. In the main theater, NCL features production shows and headliner acts each night of the cruise. One of our favorite shows on any ship is Choir of Man, and it's a must-see on Norwegian Encore. Undoubtedly, the nighttime atmosphere is more upbeat, fun, and lively than many of the other cruise lines sailing the region. Norwegian Cruise Line's also known for its specialty restaurants. Across its ships, there are a variety of restaurants featuring global-inspired cuisine. Signature restaurants include Cagney Steakhouse, which is a classic American-style steakhouse with various chops and cuts on the menu, Le Bistro, and the Italian La Cucina, or on some ships, they have the new Onda by Scarpetta. Other restaurants on your ship can include the lively Teppanyaki. This Japanese-style steakhouse includes dinner and a show, which all takes place in front of a hibachi grill. There's also Q Texas Smokehouse, serving comfort food with live music and some of the best desserts on the ship. Not to mention, cruisers can enjoy freshly crafted Mexican specialties and, of course, some margaritas at Los Lobos, depending which ship you choose. Additionally, one of our favorite restaurants on any cruise ship is Food Republic. This fusion restaurant serves small plates, tapas, and international cuisine, combining various cooking styles, ingredients, and signature cocktails. With the Free at Sea, most guests can dine at 2 specialty restaurants for free. Additional dining packages are available, or guests can pay a la carte for additional meals. However, getting an add-on dining package is a much better and cost-effective option. Alaska cruises are filled with long days and nights. With early morning scenic cruising and long days ashore, you'll want some rest and relaxation. Luckily, Norwegian Cruise Line ships feature fantastic spas and thermal suites. In fact, the thermal suite on Norwegian Encore is one of the best on any cruise ship. The thermal suite boasts several rejuvenating experiences. It has a hydrotherapy pool, steam rooms, a sauna, a salt room, and even a snow room. The best part is that the thermal suite is all the way forward, offering some of the best views on the ship. So cruisers can even relax on a heated stone lounger while admiring glaciers. There are a limited number of passes to the thermal suite, so you know it will never be overcrowded. While the cruise line does offer week passes, you might be able to score a pass on a port day too. So if you need a break from all of the adventures ashore, a morning or afternoon in the spa might do the trick. Not to mention, the spa offers a variety of other services as well. These include massages, facials, pedicures, manicures, and more. So you can return from your Alaska cruise well rested and ready to tackle being back on land. So when comparing all the options in Alaska, we would say that Norwegian Cruise Line is great for those cruising with a large group. When we sailed with our friends on Norwegian Bliss, we took advantage of the freestyle approach to customize our trip. We were able to do things as a large group as well as smaller groups throughout the week. Our tours of the Mendenhall Glacier and a float plane in the misty fjords were some of the best excursions in the region. Likewise, our trip last year on Norwegian Encore was equally memorable. We were able to get much closer to several glaciers in the park than ever before. We took advantage of the ship's upgrades like the Vibe Beach Club and Thermal Suite. Not to mention, we dined at essentially all of the specialty restaurants and took advantage of our upgraded drink package and enjoyed the onboard attractions throughout the week. Although NCL probably won't appeal to travelers looking for a more enriching experience. If you're looking for more culturally immersive experience or more authentic Alaska onboard programming, honestly, NCL might let you down. Further, if there are specific routes or ports that you want to visit, then this cruise line might not offer the exact schedule that interests you. But for those looking to make this vacation a mix of fun and facts, Norwegian Cruise Line is still a great choice. After all, it's a vacation, not a college tour. We bet after watching this video, you're ready to book an Alaska cruise. Now, unfortunately, Heidi and I are not travel agents, so we can't help you with the booking process. But as I mentioned earlier, that is why we have partnered with MEI Travel to help you book your next cruise. Make sure you get the best deal by using our exclusive link down in the description below to get your free, no obligation quote. And of course, if you still need more information about Alaska cruises, don't worry, we have you covered. Right here on YouTube, we have our brand new Expert Insider Tips and Tricks for Taking Alaska Cruise. In that video, we cover everything from planning, budgeting, how to make the most of your time on the ship, picking tours and shore excursions, how to pack for your Alaska cruise, plus some exclusive tips you're not going to hear anywhere else. That way, you're one step ahead of everyone else on board, and your Alaska cruise will be smooth sailing.